Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shadow, the Internet Personality with Sister, and welcome to Live and Wired episode 140. It's not that important. We got Under the Veil in the chat moderating. Welcome, welcome. And we got me here in the chair. We got a decent amount of news going on. I mean, it did cover a good amount of it a couple of days ago with a little impromptu stream, but, you know, what are you going to do? You still got Live and Wired, and it's important. Hello, MJ Parks. Thank you for joining us. Feed froze, going to refresh. Well, that happens too. Hello, Ghosty Russ. Hello, Annabelle Lee. Thank you. Did I get this for my birthday or for Christmas? It was a while back still. It's a while, but it's nice. It's nice. But yeah, it is quite a bit going on. I have not had any other near-death experiences over the last couple of days. Thanksgiving was really good. I possibly made the best turkey I ever did. What movie to stream right now? Oh, what was it? I just saw that something was literally on YouTube, like, available, I think, free with ads or something. Was it The Mean One? Is that the one? Let me check. Let me see. Is The Mean One available on the YouTube? Mean One, buy or rent. Okay, that's not free with ads. You son of a bitch. Anyway, which one was it then? If it wasn't The Mean One, I thought it was The Mean One. I could have sworn. Yeah, have I had poop experiences? Just let's not get into too much detail there. It was scary when it was happening. Okay, I felt like the cold sweats, the intense pain, the dizziness and confusion, and just having like no idea what's going on. It's a very scary experience to go through. Blood pressure, like, that's probably why my hands were all tingly after I started recovering, is because blood was coming back into my body after the pressure had dropped. And that's another thing where it's like, is that what happened with Elvis? Maybe. It's like, oh, people say he died of constipation. It was a heart attack. It's like, well, if there's a nerve there that's connected to your heart and it can make very bad things happen, why couldn't it be both? Why couldn't it be both? Oh, boy. There is a surprising number of sensitive spots in the ass. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. What's going on here? Why is that cut off there? You son of a... For some reason... What the... I'm going to refresh in that page. my Twitch stream manager was like, half of the top bar was just cut off. And I'm there hitting F11 to go full screen, and it just shoves it up above the monitor and cut off. And it's like... thank you, Kron. Thank you. But yeah. Is the Rec series worth watching? I have not seen it. I've heard a lot of praise, but if anything even looks remotely found footage, I try to stay away. So I haven't even looked enough at it to know if it is found footage or not. It's just the name is vaguely in that direction. So I'm like, nope, I'm good. I'm good. I have the flu. Force Transformers animated movie. Movie that I like to watch when sick. Movie that just kind of helps me put life into perspective and generally makes me feel better. Is Phantom of the Paradise. That's kind of my comfort movie. The one with all the singing and the dancing and the devil and the Satan and the drugs and the death. That one, yeah. Oh. So what's this? Rec 1, good. Rec 2, good for 10 to 20 minutes. Rec 3, never saw. Rec 4, it's not found footage and okay. So at least the first two are. So my found footage sense wasn't on the fritz. One of the better found footage. Okay, so yeah, my found footage sense, like I didn't actually look into it enough to know for certain. It just, I saw that and it was like, "Team found footage, stay away." Did it? Yeah, we had another problem. But I did go ahead and get that set up and fixed up myself. So, yay. But things are mostly fine. It's just, remember all the water coming down, and I'm like, this isn't set up quite right, and that's why the water goes that way. And they're like, no, it's supposed to be that way, and they fix it all up and charge me like over $1,000 for the services and such. Well, it turns out water was still going that way, so I ended up setting up a little bit of a, well, the unit still, it's an HVAC unit. It is supposed to be like sideways, but the vent going into it, I'm like, that does not need to also be straight sideways, so that all condensation goes into the soft tube and weighs it down, which then creates a puddle that gets larger and larger and larger until we just have a whole butt ton of water in this dang thing. So what I did was I took some of the spare foam that was used to set up a few things in the attic, and I lifted up the soft tube and I jammed that foam under it with the support beam underneath it. So now you got the HVAC unit that's flat-ish. It seems to get off kilter, probably because it was placed on fucking wood on top of the drip tray. And if you know about wood, when it gets wet, it tends to warp. So as straight as it can be, that wood gets wet, it warps. It's not going to be perfectly straight forever. It's just like anybody going to college these days. You know what I'm saying here? So that's going to cause condensation coming out more so from the slightly off-kilter HVAC unit. They seem to be incredibly sensitive to that. Either that or it's not nearly as good as people say. So the straight vent coming out to the soft tubing, I just got the soft tubing going up with a bunch of foam, so it goes through. So that way, condensation gets in there and it trails down towards the drip tray instead of down and then break through the thing. Well, it's still, there's the seam between the vent and the unit, which is off the drip tray. So I have the bacon sheet and the pizza pan in there to catch the drippage and use the fluid dynamics and surface tension to make sure it snakes around, goes in there, goes and drops down into the drip tray. Haven't had a problem since. Been up there several times, checking on the thing. It's fine. It's fine. It's finally fine. And thank you for the $2 cardboard, Kenny. That probably paid for the baking sheet and the pizza pan. So that helped pay for the. Yeah, I'm always talking about you. Favorite pizza topping. Well, I mean, it's more of like just a kind of. You gotta get the things that match nicely together. But like when Charlie and I are getting pizzas, if I'm getting a pizza just for me, usually what I'll do is I'll just throw on stuff to it to turn it into a half-assed Philly cheesesteak again, because Domino is just like, I'd like the Philly steak on that. Now they have their own little setup, but I have my custom setup that I'm like, this is how I like to buy it. I'll take the Philly steak with the green bell pepper and the onion with extra cheese, if you don't mind. And extra meat, too. So extra meat, extra cheese, extra Philly steak, extra Philly steak, cheese, extra cheese, onions, green bell peppers. on a Brooklyn-style pie. So you can nicely fold that up and all done. There we go. There we go. But yeah, it's about time to break into the news for the day. And now the first thing I want to talk about is RoboCop Rogue City. It's not really the newsiest news. That stuff came out in the beginning of the month and we're at the end of the month. But I recently played through the game in its entirety on my Twitch channel, which you can follow on Twitch. Twitch.tv/DeckerShadow or something. I don't know what it exactly is. But played through RoboCop Rogue City. Really enjoyed my time with it. Have some thoughts. It's kind of funny because when it first came out, there were a lot of like straight reviews that came out and they were like, meh, kind of broken crap. And then gamers actually got their hands on it and they're like, it's kind of awesome broken crap. So yeah, generally RoboCop Rogue City, very fun. And the thing it does great is that you really feel like RoboCop. Like, it's a bit chunky, but it's just chunky enough. And I thought of it was nice, groundbreaking, and a little buggy, but charming. Yeah, there was one bug that I noticed towards the end that got a bit annoying because it was for one of your skills, like one of the things that you can unlock with the Auto 9 motherboards. Like you get the motherboards for your Auto 9 to change up exactly how it works. And one of my favorite ones on it is to give you just crazy fast auto fire. But if you transfer maps, it stops working and you got to go into the motherboard, take the thing out of the socket to make it so it doesn't have that anymore, put it right back in, and then you get your super auto fire back. It's really frustrating and annoying there. But other than that, if you have, because your Auto 9, you have unlimited ammo. And if you have the upgrade to give you the auto loader, so you don't have to change magazines, it just loads straight in, possibly from your wrist, like deleted scene RoboCop style. And you have the auto fire that just goes ridiculously fast. Logically, it would make sense, actually, that eventually the thing would overheat, because guns do that. And the Auto 9, I don't know if they ever established any reason why it doesn't, but, oh god, just bullet hose. And just doing that and mowing down like butt tons of enemies feels really nice. Now, on the downside, though, while the little block of Detroit you get to run around in is enjoyable, it is also recycled, like, over and over. Whenever you go out to Detroit, it is to that spot. It'll be at different times of day, different weather conditions. There might be a war going on, but it's the same kind of blocks. It helps it feel like these are my streets, but it does get a bit samey. And towards the end, the narrative, I feel like the game could have easily had 2 whole entire missions more at the end. It feels like after a certain point, things just start happening at breakneck speeds, and before, like, I'm in situations where I'm like, how the hell did I end up here? We're doing a presentation now? Okay. I guess we are. Hey, Shells. I missed that comment when it happened. But hello. Yeah, so it does feel like at the end, like there might have been more game planned and they just kind of ran out of time/money and it was like, well, here it is. But overall, it was a nice nostalgia trip with enough new things and was very fun. Bit buggy, a bit clunky here and there, but I highly recommend it. I give it a 4 out of 5. Very, very nice. And yeah, the RoboCop gun, the Auto 9. After a certain point, like you can pick up other guns that the gangsters drop and use those, but the Auto 9 is the one that you can upgrade. So after a certain point, it starts like being. I start feeling like I don't need to pick up any other gun, and it's Auto 9 all the way, unless someone drops a rocket launcher or a Barrett 50 cal, which apparently those are loaded with like explosive munitions. So the other rocket launcher, take your pick of rocket launcher. Those can be a nice complement to the Auto 9. But like many a first-person shooter, RoboCop can only carry 2 guns, and he's always got the Auto 9, so be careful what you pick up. Yeah, a AA game, not a AAA game, but still, it's just fun. Very fun. Oh, did I have any pies with Thanksgiving dinner? I actually did not. No, I had a little pecan pie because Charlie got pecan pie for herself, but they gave her too big of a slice. So I was like, don't worry, Charlie, I got you. I wasn't going to, but I was already. I spent Thanksgiving evening looking like I was already preparing to become Santa Claus. We had a lot of really great food. My turkey came out wonderful. Oh yeah, they like to not do that, especially since I didn't post a long form review this week. Definitely YouTube is not going to be sending out a good amount of notifications. They're like, this guy's got a dead channel, fuck him. But I just got to put out more videos. I got to actually do my work if I want my job to go well. I'm learning as we go. It's amazing. But yeah, RoboCop never did have a lot of guns in his arsenal. That is true. One thing I really like is that the shotguns that you get in the reloading is done really well. Like, I'm a gun guy, and lots of video games have guns, and a lot of the people who put that together in games seem to not understand how they work. But RoboCop got a lot of that stuff right, where if you are firing and you reload before you finish unloading the magazine, like you still have one in the chamber, RoboCop will put the magazine in and then go right back to it. Whereas if you empty the gun, drop the magazine, put it in, then he'll rack the slide and go at it. And it is slightly faster to reload as a tactical reload, and it works the same with shotguns. But also the shotguns are semi-automatic, so you got RoboCop with a shotgun there. He's just got it out like a pistol, and he's just firing, because it's a semi-automatic shotgun. That's how they work. And then he puts the shells in, and if there's no more shells in there, he'll put one in the chamber. But it's really nice there. But in the meantime, I'm just there okay, auto fire, splitting bullets, just spew death, and add the little one that makes it when they explode in gore, they explode in more gore, just for funsies. Oh yeah, I definitely recommend it. I definitely recommend it. You gotta like shooters, but it's a bit on the easy side. But part of that is the fact that you are RoboCop. And if when I started, I put all my points into XP gain, and then things were tearing me down pretty hard, and I was like, crap. So after I finished maxing out how much experience I'll be getting, I started putting points into armor so that I'd stop getting so blown up. And then they threw challenges at me like, kill more guys than this Ed 209 unit. And I didn't have any points in my killing power, and so Ed 209 wins. And I was like, God damn it! So there are still challenges, definitely. But also the achievements are pretty straightforward, easy to get. You can get all of the achievements on a single playthrough. I missed 3 things, so I'm going back for it. There's kill all the enemies here within 10 minutes, find this secret in the arcade. It did that one. And there's another thing that I can't remember exactly what it is, but yeah. Yeah, just a couple of achievements. I'm going back for it. Anyway, it's time for the Live and Wired poll. With the spirit of RoboCop, the video game being so nicely done, awesome, very fun, great. One thing that has come up relatively frequently is the idea of these developers, or perhaps other developers who understand the assignment, would take another classic 80s or 90s like action movie, like some nice cop action movie from back when cop action movies were fantastic, and give it the same kind of RoboCop treatment, where you got your deductions, you got your action, you got your characters that you know and you love, and you got an interesting story that you actually care about. What other movie could we do this with, and it would be nice and fun? Options we have, first of all, from 1987 comes Lethal Weapon, Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. They must put aside their differences and just maybe we could do co-op in that. I don't know. Then, of course, from 1988, there's the option for Red Heat, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Get a little bit of that. More buddy. It's all buddy cop, really. Honestly, it's RoboCop's buddy cop too. He got Lewis. He got Ann Lewis. She's his buddy. She's his buddy. Then, of course, we have my personal favorite, Demolition Man. That would be pretty awesome. But I think that we'd have to have a good amount of what's the word I'm looking for here? Melee combat there, because guns, they come later in the game. Real quick. Oh, damn it. I can't remember that kanji. Oh, something ki desu ka. Oh, something ki desu ka. Keep up the good work. You are awesome. I like the Arnold Schwarzenegger summer playlist. Ah, thank you. The Arnold Schwarzenegger summer playlist lasts forever. If I do another Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's gonna be continuing on. Okay. East something something for the name. Ohayo gozaimasu. Yeah, that's easy. It's entirely in hiragana. I can read that easy. Though, konbanwa from where I am. But yeah, finally, after Demolition Man, one more option we have. From 1996, why not Bulletproof? Starring Damon Wayans and Adam Sandler. That's a buddy cop movie. Why not? So we have that vote going on Twitter right now. 30 minutes starting now. I will be sharing the link out in the chat momentarily. Haboom. Hora no Poo-san. Poo-san? Hora no Poo-san no. Shit, what's that one? Shit, what's that? I can't remember the first kanji. Second one. I've learned that a lot, but I can't remember. And I think the third one's gate. Himashita. Well, it's not gate. It's got something in it. It wouldn't have the thing in the middle if it was gate. But damn it. I got to keep on my kanji study. I really do. Kimashita. What's that? Sorry, I'm trying to think. It's like listening or something. No YouTube straw poll. Nah, since I am streaming this to YouTube and Twitch and Facebook, the Twitch has a thing where they're like, if you want to restream, you're not allowed to direct people away from Twitch to another service where they can watch it. And it's like, okay, it's a Twitter poll then. I used to do Twitter polls all the time, but we moved on to YouTube polls because I figured maybe that would work better. Plus, YouTube polls, I could have another option and longer options. Twitter limits you to 4, and they can only be like 25 characters long. Oh, Dinocember. I don't have any written down, but I really want to. It's been so long. I always love doing Dinocember. And it's always a great chance to check in with the Asylum. They're always making dinosaur movies. Oh, God, they are. Hora Pasan. That Hora no Hora. I feel like that's horror. No, of that is Pasan. That's just saying person to me. But I'm like, shouldn't that be Hito? I don't know. I'm confused with Pasan. That's Pusan, not Pa. Pusan. Pa would be, yeah. You know Japanese better than I do. Okay, that's Cyrillic. I can't do anything with that. That looks close enough to Arabic. Not Arabic. That's numerals. That looks close enough to Roman. The Roman alphabet. I can try and read it, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get it right. Pakner Paha. Oh yeah, the Arabic language it's a really tough one. It's a really tough one. I've heard Japanese is like one of the toughest. There's a lot of really difficult ones, but what are you gonna do? But speaking of difficulty, it's things are looking shaky for Scream 7. We talked about this on Wednesday as well, but looking at things going on in movie news that is semi-important and relevant to the channel, I had a hard time coming up with something better. So, yeah. Melissa Barrera got shit-canned, and then soon after, we found magical scheduling conflicts for Jenna Ortega, so they're both not looking to be in Scream 7, which is putting the entire project very much up in the air with heavy rewrites. And, yeah. People are like, but guys, we might get Neve Campbell back. And it's like, it's a might, which the reason they weren't in Scream 6 was evidently because they didn't feel like paying her very well. Which, if you're getting Neve Campbell for your Scream sequel, pay the woman. She's fucking Neve Campbell. And it's Scream. You pay people. Yeah, that's how I thought it worked. Hey now, them's fighting words. Them's is fighting words right there. It's all done anyway. It's all in here. It's fine. Yeah, usual studio stupidity, I'd say. People learn at least 5 languages? Well, how different are the languages from each other? Because, I mean, it's interesting when I looked at a video about, like, the hardest languages to learn. And when it was covering why, a lot of them it was just like, oh, the grammar is totally different. It's like, well, yeah, welcome to my world. And it's like, is that really like you're learning a different language? Shouldn't we just assume the grammar is different? How many languages use the same grammar? Because I could really learn those really quickly. See, my problem is I haven't seen all the Scream movies. But I liked 3 for putting a knife in it and saying it's done, but then it's not done, so here we are. That's another thing, is like, it takes a while to not only learn, but you also have to effectively, actively use. But not as when I say use, I don't mean that like, oh, you have to go there and speak it. It's the step that people like to call immersion, which, because it's like the point where things click and you have the language and it's great, that's where people fall down the rabbit hole of thinking, well, that's the only thing you needed anyway. And people who study like some very hard languages like to think that. They like to throw away all of the work that they've done and say like it's like people will praise the idea of immersion so much, and it's like if you don't have the baseline of understanding of anything, no amount of immersion is going to help. You have to be able to comprehend the inputs. Incomprehensible input is just noise. Why haven't I reviewed Freaked? That's a good question. Or something ki desu ka? Or genki desu ka? O genki desu ka? Hai. Genki so desu. Genki. Oh, yeah, that's where I saw it. Genki. Doi. Genki, not healthy, but it's a na adverb, so it conjugates slightly different than the e adverbs. Anyway. Got another piece of news here that I don't think we talked about on Wednesday, but like everyone's talking about it online. Like, I like to talk about some video game news here and there. And -1. Oh, I want to, but I gotta remember to. I should write it down. Have not reviewed the Double Dragon movie, and I don't know why, because that's one I remember distinctly watching as a kid and having a child Decker moment, just like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, I do. Like, I haven't been able to keep up on my Genki every day, sadly. But I do my kanji study every single day. Have not missed it in 3 months. Scream 7 would be good if it was set during the same period as 6. There should have been coordinated attacks set up. Maybe Tony Ravioli being involved, but Jack Quan's dad messed it up. Just a brief whatever. Love your reviews. Thank you, Richard Curtis. Thank you. But what was I saying? Oh, yes. The news. If you've been on Twitter at all for the last, week, you might have seen something trending the entire time called Xbox Tax. And that brings in the question, what is the Xbox Tax? Is it real? Does it taste like brisket? And the Xbox Tax thing there's a good amount of contention back and forth where people were like, God damn it, this is the Xbox Tax at work again. And others saying, shut up, you stupid fanboys, there is no Xbox Tax. And so then we have to define what the fuck the Xbox Tax is. Effectively, Xbox Tax means that game comes out, it is rated on this scale. Game comes out on Xbox, you take that same scale, but you apply Xbox Tax to lower the rating, and that's your Xbox rating for that game. That's just the basic concept. It's just an observable bias amidst a decent chunk of gaming media. And then it's getting weird online because the discourse back and forth is like, there is no big cabal conspiracy where everyone's signing contracts in agreement to applying this Xbox tax on things. It's like, yeah, obviously not. That's not what people mean by that. Then there's the thing saying like, well, there is absolutely no bias to speak of whatsoever. Game journalists are the most upstanding citizens ever and would ever smear a review one way or the other based on personal preferences. It's like, really? I mean, it's like bias is a thing in people. People run things, and things where there is absolutely not supposed to be biases happen. We can observe this in a lot of things. The American judicial system does not have anything saying, hey, by the way, if their skin's a bit dark, throw them in the slammer longer. That's not there anywhere. I mean, well, okay, it was in some place, but not anymore in most places. Point is, when the law specifically says it's okay, like even, like there's nothing in there in the law at all saying like, keep them in for longer. They still do. They still do for the same like first offenses with the same. Even out everything as much as possible. We have a lot of data to work with. There's a lot of people filling the judicial system doing a lot of the same stuff as each other. And yeah, there is an observable discrepancy that is very clearly there, and that is the unintended bias. There's nothing in the law saying to do that. It's absolutely against the way that people should be behaving and are expected to behave, but it absolutely happens, and we understand this. So then the idea that you can have all these gaming outlets who are very much like PlayStation first in the makeup of their employees, like the players who just prefer playing on PlayStation. Some outlets, like they're getting their review copies. 9 times out of 10, they will say, "Give it to me on PlayStation." If they are not asked and they are sent a review copy of an Xbox version of a game, many times they send it back and say no. They may have an Xbox to play it on, but their preference for PlayStation is that strong that they're like, no, I'm not playing this on Xbox. I'm going to play this on PlayStation. You have people in that deep. Yes, even though it's not written down, lower the Xbox score a peg, you still have an observable effect on things. And the biggest the reason that everything popped off is because of the recent release of Modern Warfare 3, which got rated 4 out of 10 by IGN. Now, Modern Warfare 3, it's got its problems, but 4 out of 10 is what they rated Redfall. Just so you understand. Thank you very much, Anubis T800. I always thought there might be a bias for Borderlands 3 because it was Epic exclusive for about a year, and most folks don't like Epic. Yeah, there's also that. Like, a lot of people just don't like going to Epic as well. And it's not like people are actively going out and saying, I've decided that based on these factors, I'm going to tell you to stuff it. Is people are legitimately like unhappy for one reason or another, and then they're like, then it comes out on that. And like, people were, during the acquisition phase of Activision Blizzard King, people were very, very strongly against Microsoft on that, even though the laws were all clearly on Microsoft's side. And it's there are people swearing up and down that it was going to create a monopoly. Like, it can't happen because they are already a monopoly, and this is going to make them a bigger monopoly. And it's like, they went from third place to third place. This was always what was going to happen. And then you got the same people who were screaming monopoly now mocking them for being so small. And it's like, there's a lot of cringe online. There are definitely some Xbox fans on Twitter who are absolutely imbeciles as well. I'm not saying they are not. They definitely exist. And they seem to be multiplying. But biases are absolutely there. And when you have so many professional gaming journalists in the professional gaming journalism outlets who are PlayStation first gamers, that unintended or not, that bias is going to come out. Sony decided to stay with Nintendo and going PC. See, I try and just kind of have a finger in every pie, but I also prefer when I have a reason to turn a system on. And I'm regretting my purchase of the PSVR 2. I'm a big VR guy, and the tech is great, but dear God, Sony, would you not rely on third parties who don't give a shit about your VR system to actually make things for it? If you want to sell this thing, make the games. You are a gaming company, you bastards. Yes, my plastic corporate game box is the best. People get way too personal with it. And if you get down to it, like, Microsoft doesn't care about you, Sony doesn't care about you, and Nintendo fucking hates you. Like this. That's just, it's just how it goes. Well, I mean, in a technical sense, it is a profession. Oh yeah, I've been meaning to check that out. It's actually said to be not only a good game, a good VR game, it's also a decently sized VR game. It's not one of those damn 2 to 3 hour experiences. It's an actual fucking game. Like, awesome. You make content based around Nintendo products, even if it's been near abandoned by Nintendo. Nintendo really hates you. Yes. But last bit of news to talk about is one that has been popping off lately. $7.9 billion. That's the potential bill Sony will be facing. It's not an acquisition. They are getting a class action lawsuit put against them by the CAT, the tribunal in UK. And that's interesting. Oh, that's just Dobby. He doesn't like me. I can try and bring him over, but he's gonna try to murder me the whole way. Okay. There's the internet, Dobby. You're a cat. They love you. See? Yeah, that's kind of been the issue for me, is like exclusives and such. Dobby, he probably just got some Maine Coon in him. He's not a huge cat, like, but he is big and fluffy. But yeah. So that's just, but yeah, the lawsuits going over to Sony is based on the idea that their practices in the UK are considered anti-competitive. They are using their position as the market leader, it's alleged, to effectively charge more for their digital sales. Because their digital storefront, you have to go through Sony. They're the only ones who have their digital items for sale, and they charge a 30% like commission thing for each sale, which is the standard that all the digital storefronts charge. And I'm just sitting there scratching my head like, is there really a difference if I buy Steam dollars on Steam or if I buy a Steam gift card at Walmart? Like, is it this big of a difference? Because, I mean, the prices are still pretty competitive with everyone else who's competing with them. I'm having a hard time understanding, but like the initial stage of this, where the case is brought forth and the cat made their, and I don't know who the plaintiffs are considered in this. They made their case, and then Sony came out and they were like, they're fucking insane. This is stupid as shit. The cat was there like, yeah, well, it's going to court, so come up with a better explanation than that. And it's like, but guys, it's really fucking stupid. So I don't know what the hell. It's like $8 billion. So it's in anything, they're going to have some legal fees to pay to at least fight it. But it's like, what the hell? It seems a bit much for not having, like, it feels like a technicality they're caught in more than anything. Like, not necessarily. I'm having a hard time pinning down the actual offense here. Oh yeah, I heard a bit about a potential Gears of War remaster, but I haven't seen anything. So there's talk about like Gears of War, like I don't think that I haven't seen any talk with like actual developers talking about developing anything in terms of a Gears of War reboot, but there have been some rumblings in that direction, like that would be a good idea, don't you think? Mm-hmm. Cliffy B thinks so. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. One night, my niece giving the cats outside catnip. She said, "I'm making the cats crazy," so nonchalantly. Okay. Right. That's fantastic. Harry Potter years, summer would be too short. Oh God. That's a lot of Harry Potter. The body count does rise, but does it rise frequently enough? How many people die per book in Harry Potter? Would that be an excuse to start streaming Harry Potter games on Twitch? I don't know. I got to figure out what exactly I'm going to be streaming on Twitch next. Now that I finished RoboCop, like I've been enjoying streaming on Twitch. I'm like, yeah, this is fun. Playing games, chatting, playing video games. But now that I've finished RoboCop, I'm like, what next? What next? What shall it be? It really ramps up in the last book. I need a consistent string of the body count rising. Otherwise, I just can't. See, my problem is I don't have Mario RPG. Oh, the body count rises in the books mostly through newspapers and word of mouth. Oh, I need to have the kills on screen. The blood must flow. Something on Xbox Game Pass. You know, that thing you convinced me to get. Oh, right. Yeah, that happens some days. That does. Oh, hopefully it's not a gastrointestinal issue because, oh God, those can be really bad. Really surprisingly bad. Do you count the ghosts? Oh, well, the ghosts have already died long ago. So I don't think that the ghosts would count towards the body count. Oh well. But yeah, I'm still confused as to some people were saying that since the UK regulators sided with Microsoft eventually, now they're Microsoft buddies and not Sony buddies like they were Super Sony buddies before. But I also distinctly remember that with the PlayStation 2 and famously with the PlayStation 3, Sony was trying to convince the regulators in the UK that this is a computer. It's not a game console, because if it was a computer, they'd have to pay less taxes to the UK to sell it there. But the UK absolutely never budged on that. They were like, fuck you, Sony. This is a game console, you dumbasses. And, so that's the idea that the UK has just always been like super buddy close with Sony, and that now they're changing their game. I don't really buy that. I don't really buy that so much. It's the Jaffa Cake bullcrap avoiding tax thing, but plastic gaming box form. Yeah. Well, half the fun of filing taxes is figuring out what technicalities you can use to pay as little as possible. Actually, that's the only fun. The paying taxes part is not fun. Wheel of Time book fan. The only Wheel of Time thing I ever actually engaged with was way back in the 90s. In the ancient internet, there was a MUD. This is what we used to call these text-based online games, multiplayer. Where you make a kick, and you go around and you fight like RPG stuff. Yeah, it was called The Weave, and it was kind of based on the Wheel of Time series, and I had no fucking idea what any of that was, but I was playing that. Yes, I was. Now it's fun times. Reading out everything. Invincible has a rising body count, and Totoko saw there's a mobile game, not much of a gamer myself, but I thought the One Punch Man game looked interesting. And the body count rises. That's one thing I could do on Twitch, possibly. Well, you see, I've got 2 millennia, but I've never actually beat her. Now, I did go back to her lately, and I actually got to the second phase. That's a first. What I had to do was I had to get off my high horse and admit that the tank build, while it's great on everything else, is absolute suicide against millennia. So I put my shield away, two-handed my spear, and was like, come at me! So that's what I've been doing to her. And I can get to phase 2, but that's about it. But the poll, it says I got -1 minutes left. What the hell does that mean? Is it? Okay, now it says it's final results. There we go. We got some extra suggestions that should have made it. Commando, Predator, Cobra, Blade, Judge Dredd, Carl Urban version, not virgin. Yeah. But how did the voting go? At a mere 2%, with 49 votes total on this, at a mere 2%, Bulletproof from 1996. No one's interested in a Wayne's movie with Adam Sandler to play RoboCop Rogue City style. I guess having to spend like 20 hours standing next to Adam Sandler is a bit much for anybody. 6.1% is Red Heat. Not too many people looking to see glorification of a little Russian soldier kind of policeman man. Fuck them. Anyway, 28.6% goes to Lethal Weapon, which means at a whopping 63.3% clear winner of the poll, Demolition Man. Oh yeah. That would be a lot of fun. And it'd be a nice, you kind of start off in Los Angeles in 1996, and it looks kind of like RoboCop Detroit kind of thing there. But then you move on to San Angeles, and everything's all shiny and pretty until everything goes to hell. And you got the sewer areas, and it's just got a good amount of different locations. You get the museum level, of course. Love that. Oh, yeah, that would be awesome too. Get Sylvester Stallone to voice John Spartan. That's the most badass hero name right there, John Spartan. Whew. Now, there are some Demolition Man video games out there, but they were made, back in the 90s. And I just remember, especially then, licensed games, like, there was a kind of a thing going on. It's like the quality of a licensed game versus just a game that was designed to be a fun game. It was kind of like the difference today between, say, a licensed game and Elden Ring. We had a lot of Elden Rings back then, really, compared to the licensed games. Now we just have a whole butt ton of licensed games and very few Elden Rings. But, still, you enjoy it when you have it. You're thankful for all of it, and there's still joy to be had in situations where a licensed game comes out a lot better than you anticipate, such as RoboCop Rogue City. Well, that was one of the earliest examples of a very high-profile licensed game. It had its deadline to be put out. It was half the normal development time, but they were going to do it, and they did it. And they were so sure it was going to be a massive super hit that they produced more cartridges than existed Atari 2600 consoles. Strangely, it had a harder time selling than I thought. They thought people were going to want it so bad that even if they couldn't play it, they'd still want the cartridge. Like, I own Atari 2600 copy of E.T. Yay! Now, I never played Avatar on the 7th gen consoles, but I remember that graphically it looked like very impressive for the time. Kind of like the new Avatar game looks really good. It's just something about, like, one thing with Avatar is a lot of it is already CG, so it's pretty easy to translate. But it's very colorful, and it's got a very appealing visual makeup. And, like, especially on the 360 PS3 era, a lot of things were very muddy brown. It was still kind of it was sort of a hold off on things turning muddy brown around the 6th generation, the PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox. But it was a holdover of that combined with the fact that the Xbox 360, it only had, half a gig of RAM? It was not much to work with. Not much at all. That had to cover the textures and the models and, like, everything. It was a struggle. It was a struggle back then. But they worked magic with those machines. Now you got it where it's like, hey, here's our newest, greatest game. We spent 20 years making it. It's fantastic. You're gonna love it. And like, it runs like ass, sir. Well, then you need to buy a better computer. It'll run well enough to spend a few more $1,000, you son of a bitch. Wait, Forspoken trying to get the money to make a sequel? I didn't hear about this. So I take it the DLC did not sell like hotcakes? I never had a Game Gear, but I did eventually get my hands on a Nomad, and I didn't have a Nomad when it was new, but I always wanted it. But I didn't. My mother eventually, like a few years later, encountered a Nomad, like for sale, cheap, and was like, "Yeah, he'll like that," and got it for me, and it was great. It was great. I brought that Nomad to Texas with me. And then one of my cats pissed on it and destroyed it. Not these cats. They never urinated on my electronics. Hmm? What happened? Monster Rancher or Digimon VGs? I've tried playing Monster Rancher before and never really clicked for me. And Digimon, I haven't really dug into. But we are at the hour mark, and I should be saying what exactly I'm working on. That's a good question. You see, I was gonna review the Black Demon, but I don't know. We're heading towards Dino-Sember. I could try and start Dino-Sember. Have a nice time with that, maybe. I don't know. I definitely need to get proper reviews out again. Watch more movies. Talk about more movies. I gotta have 2 videos a week. They don't have to be the biggest videos ever. Yes, YouTube's going to be yelling at me the whole time like, this is only number 8 out of 10. You suck. Your channel sucks. Everyone hates you. But I'm going to have to try my best to not let that bother me and just do my work. What was it? I am still working on Twitch, playing games. I've been enjoying that. So, talk about Dragon Slayer before on a live 90s Disney movie. I can't remember. Oh God. Hair tutorial video. I've been thinking of doing some cooking videos just because I've got a lot of things that I want to cook, and just because I've got the things to make it, and I keep being like, I'm running out of time today. Fuck it, pizza rolls again. And making a video out of it is a good excuse to make a decent dinner. I could make my halushkis. I could make some shrimp scampi. Simple little things that are very nice. Very nice. Very nice. And there's plenty of other things I could cook. I could have done a turkey video, but I mean, I'd just be doing Alton Brown's recipe anyway, and he already made an entire episode of a TV series about it. So, see, I still haven't gotten the nacho fries down exactly right. I am like there with the Mexican pizza, but there are a few minor things that I think I can solve, and I'd like to do some more experiments. Bread. That's one. I have bread dough and bread yeast and ale yeast, actually. I can make some mead. I got the stuff. Cantaloupes, salmonella. We got some salmonella on a recent cantaloupe situation. But yes. Anyway, I need to be finishing this up. I'm after this. I intend on. I got to feed my dog, walk my dog, eat something, and then I'm probably going to jump on stream. I better figure out what I'm going to play by then. I'm over on Twitch, and just stream for like an hour or two. See how that goes. And what else? Yes. This is something that I should mention in terms of streaming on Twitch. Also, my fiance has been streaming on Twitch more lately. She's been getting into that. I do not play Dead by Daylight. I haven't. Well, I mean, I tried for a way back when for a Xbox. There was a reward for like playing a certain character a certain amount of times, and I was just sitting in the lobby for like 30 minutes, not finding a game, and then I stopped. So I installed it and I ran the game before, but I've never actually played Dead by Daylight. Oh, my Twitch name is Decker Shadow. Charlie on Twitch is Poltergimp. She doesn't talk much. She doesn't have a face cam, but we still have her little. She does the PNG tuber thing. We got a nice little ghosty Poltergimp icon for her, and she uses text to speech to communicate. And so she communicates through text to speech and through memes, which make her little Poltergimp dance, which is great. She plays a decent amount of Souls games. She's been playing Lies of P lately, and she plays Elden Ring on occasion. And she's just been enjoying herself playing on stream. And she's currently, we like her Poltergimp character, and so I went ahead and I designed some emotes for her, and then I found out she can't actually use them until she becomes an affiliate. So I'm like, okay, well, I got it. I'll design your channel point symbol here. We got a nice one going, and then it's like, also that she needs to be an affiliate for. It's like, God damn it! So she might need a little bit of a support over there in case you'd like to check out Poltergimp on Twitch. And yeah, just. I'll probably be streaming later. We'll see what happens. I gotta feed my dog. Shall thank you all for watching. I have been Decker Shadow, and remember, I will be watching movies and talking about them again. That's very important, and I love doing it. Why the hell haven't I been doing it? That's probably something that will make me feel a lot better, like mentally. Watch the movies and talk about it. It worked so well for the last 12 years. Then I stop, feel like crap. Okay, so we got 6 viewers on Twitch. I could use this opportunity to raid Poltergimp over there. She's playing right now, Liza P. Okay, start the raid there. Get y'all going there, and then I'll be shutting the stream off here on the YouTubes and the Facebooks, and I will be feeding Lou. Okay. Okay, raid has commenced on Twitch. I'll see y'all very soon.